And the racists don't even know that they are being
Yes.
manipulated by the super wealthy.
Yes,
to
because
think it's the brown
racists, the thing about racist is that you have to believe that you are smarter.
Yes. They do, bro. Like,
Right? To be racist, you must believe that you are smarter and God loves you more.
And, I got...
You have to be religious, but also believe that God has favorites.
Yeah. How does that work, though?
I'm not a racist. I don't understand. But I understand that to be a successful racist, you must...
Racism 101.
Yeah, you must believe that your God thinks
Favors
I'm the
you.
shit. Like, fuck those other guys, I'm the shit.
Welcome to the Best Medicine Podcast with me, Dr. Riaad Moosa. It's wonderful to be chatting to you again. I'm trying to do this a lot more regularly. Today is a strange discussion. It's primarily based on the fact that Afriforum and Elon Musk and the American president is trying to save the oppressed peoples of South Africa. The Boers. We need to save the Boers, folks. Okay. There's been a whole lot of strange things. The racists have come out in mass on X primarily, on the Elon Musk social media platform, formerly known as Twitter. And I got into a disagreement with Roland Schoeman. Roland Schoeman, Olympic swimmer. I was inspired by those guys, right? I was really inspired by those guys. This bra and his minions, one of his minions actually called me a Timo Trevor Noah. And then I called Roland Schoeman a Timo Ryk Neetling. And that was very childish. But I did that. And we got into a disagreement on X. We unpacked that a little bit. And what may be going on in the world as we speak, because everything seems to be crazy. I'm unpacking a lot of these things in my new show, What's the Point? Which is coming to Johannesburg after Ramadan. Enjoying Ramadan very, very much. Samir is busy reading Taraweeh for the first time. And that's been a wonderful experience. Alhamdulillah. I'll be back to my buffoonery in Johannesburg at the Pieter Toerien Theatre in Monty in Joburg from the 16th to the 27th. You can get tickets at Web Tickets. It's very important to get tickets at Web Tickets because I'd like to let everybody know that there's a site called Viagogo and they're buying a lot of my tickets up and they're putting like a huge markup, right? Like on the site, they're selling my tickets for 350, 450, 550 Rand. The ticket prices are like 200 Rand. That's how much I'm charging. So if you don't want to have to buy scalped tickets, like, because you snoozed, right? Then you can, just pay for the tickets now. Tickets are available at Web Tickets. It's next month. And I'm really looking forward to it. Please support the podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/Riaad Moosa. You can contribute if you think my content is interesting. Otherwise, you can just do what most people do and become a free member. But that doesn't help me much. But anyways, I appreciate the support. So please enjoy this conversation with myself and KG Mohadi. I got my buddy Moosa, one of my doctor colleagues. We were mid school back in the day, and I don't know if we come to any tangible or substantive conclusions, but we had a good talk with KG Mohadi and Moosa. And just remember also KG is on a very intensive health journey. He's trying very hard to get fit. He's been very successful so far in the first few months of this year. You must follow his journey on social media. It's actually very inspiring. And as you guys know, he's one of the funniest guys in South Africa. So please enjoy this talk and us unpacking, amongst other things, Afriforum, my fight with Roland Schoeman on X, and the rise of racism, at least on social media platforms. Enjoy.
That's dangerous work, right?
No. I was based in South Africa, so it was not that dangerous.
Dude, I have a friend called David who was based in Ukraine.
Okay. Yes.
And now he's in Egypt. But when he was in Ukraine, he would send me like voice notes in the morning. And he'd be like, yo, this is Russian ballistics.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, we gotta wake up, put on bulletproof vests and get out. Like, that's... Oh, I met him in South Sudan.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like, it's his thing.
Yes.
Like he's one of those dudes that go where people need him.
No, for sure. I was in HIV in South Africa.
Yeah.
I always say the first thing that the first place they sent me to when I joined MSF was Paris for 3 weeks. It was not the same experience that other people were getting.
How was Paris?
I love Paris.
So you go there a lot? Because
I don't go there a lot, but
Medicine Sans Frontières, it's a French organization, I assume.
It started out in France, France and Belgium.
Okay.
Yes, and no, I've been there 4 times, but every time I go, I think yes, this is a beautiful place, and I enjoy it a lot. So, yeah, Paris is great. Have you been to Paris?
No.
Oh, okay.
KG. Nope. KG is about Africa, bruh. KG
You're
is
Pan-African.
Yeah. I love the continent.
Bro. I'm asking you about this. I think, first of all, okay, how's your health?
Good.
Yeah, how have we progressed since...
We're doing good. This weekend is shambles, but...
Why is it like it's always shambles just before you come to talk to me?
You tell me, my dog.
I'm here maybe to correct.
Bruh, I went out, I met a friend, it was his birthday.
Okay, always an excuse.
And then we drank, bruh. Like we drank. We were serious. We drank serious.
Yeah, now you're surrounded by Muslims.
And then shout out. This is the most beautiful thing about this. I'm surrounded by Muslims during the month of Ramadan. And they've offered me water while they watch me drink my water, and I drank it. I wasn't gracious at all.
Yeah, you drank it like you've never had water before, bro. You don't need a drip. Maybe you need a drip.
This is the beautiful thing about being in South Africa.
Yes.
You can do this. Like,
yes, well, it seems like we're going back in time a bit based on what's been happening online.
We're not going back in time at all. Racists are coming out. They're exposing themselves because they are afraid. Right? This is what happens when you lose a little power. This is what happens when people don't take you seriously. We're actually flying forward more than we're moving backwards.
Okay, because I need to hear this because I don't know if you know, I got into it with the racists online.
I saw you there, and then I didn't even read it. I left it. I was like, I'm not gonna maybe it's because like I grew up in Pretoria among, very good people and one or two racists. So my attitude with racists is that I don't give them my time.
Yeah.
Like I just say what I want to say. I just do what I want to do. I will fight with them on social media because I'm aware. And I fight based on the thing that I posted. Right. So I'm not even fighting. I'm defending my statement.
Okay.
Right? But like, I don't have time for racists.
The reason I'm engaging is because it seems to have gone geopolitical.
Yeah, and that's why we're moving faster than we are going. Racists are losing power worldwide, dog.
Okay. So you
Right?
think that's
Yeah,
what's happening?
So you think it's a backlash?
They're losing power worldwide. These movements of we need our UK back, we need France back, it's racists going, yo, we are actually taking a beating. They're taking a beating. It's a beautiful thing. It's the best time to be. Let's see the Kifness going crazy. You guys panicking. Oh, let him get crazy. It's fine. This is what we need. I listened to like 10 minutes of Ernest Roots. I was like, yo, this guy is stupid. And then I left it. I was like, yo, this is stupid. But you also have to exist in that world where you marvel at the idea that racists have no leaders right now, as we speak. They're no leaders. Guy, if your leader
Elon
is
Musk.
Ernest Roots.
Elon Musk?
He's not leading them. You think he cares?
No, I don't think he cares. I actually think
guys.
ultimately what this is just a divide and conquer strategy.
Yeah.
It's a strategy of, once again, the wealthiest actually making poorer people, right, fight. Whether it's white poorer people, black poorer people, but it's actually the super, super, super wealthy deepening inequality.
My opinion is that when you are racist, you are just as useful a tool
Right.
as a poor person.
Right. So they are exploiting the racism
Yes.
to deepen that divide and conquer strategy. And the racists don't even know that they are being manipulated by the super wealthy.
Yes,
to
because
think it's the brown
racists,
people.
the thing about racist is that you have to believe that you are smarter.
Yes. They do, bro. Like,
Right? To be racist, you must believe that you are smarter and God loves you more.
And, I got...
You have to be religious, but also believe that God has favorites.
Yeah. How does that work, though?
I'm not a racist. I don't understand. But I understand that to be a successful racist, you must...
Racism 101.
Yeah, you must believe that your God thinks
Favors
I'm the
you.
shit. Like, fuck those other guys, I'm the shit. You understand?
Yeah.
So I look at that and I go, but how can I take somebody like this seriously? We just keep moving.
But even guys like Bob Hertzhoff, that bruh.
Rob,
Hertzhoff. Yo,
but Rob,
isn't he a bajillionaire?
Rob, they say he's a billionaire.
I love your attitude here. This is very cathartic for me because I've been on this, on this X for the past, couple of weeks fighting.
I can't do
right?
those things.
And I'm appreciating what you're saying here, Rob. Like,
Rob Hertzhoff isn't he the son of a apartheid rich guy? He's the guy that we're talking about.
What did I expect?
Hertzhoff and David Gao. Hertzhoff is a nice guy. He's hustling, dog. He's busy building an airport. Then you think he cares? You all think like Rob Hertzhoff cares about saving this country? Guys, come on.
So they just want to cause cack.
Yeah, you're a tool. It helps. It helps with the politics.
Right.
How much money do you think Afriforum will make if they said there's no genocide?
Yeah.
How much money do you think Afriforum will make if they said no, there's no genocide? Actually, nobody's farm has been taken. How much money do you think Afriforum will make if they went, no man, the people that were killed in that farm were killed by other white people. They stopped making money yesterday. Like,
actually members of their own family.
So you gotta look at these members of Afriforum, and they've done other great things, but you gotta go, you're being played by Gully Grill. You're the stupid one, not me. Like,
yeah.
Imagine being played by Gully Grill. Guys, come on.
You know what I wanted to do?
Huh? No, I mean the thing that I'm thinking though is that as much as you didn't take them seriously before,
Yes.
I kind of take them seriously when they have like the richest man in the world behind them.
Yeah.
Who is actually a racist. I think he is.
Yeah.
And and the US government, right? I think the US government just uses whatever reason they have,
Yes.
right, for whatever they want. So
Yes.
if there's some Afriforum guys that's piping up, they're going to use it for that. But the fact that there is a billionaire behind this,
Yes.
and we are in the crosshairs anyway because of ICC, right? Our case, like South Africa as a whole.
Yes.
It makes you like think, oh, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
So what I'm saying is the richest guy in the whole world would have found another way
Oh,
to
besides,
come for us.
Yes, dude.
Right? My attitude is, you think the US government did not go and study this expropriation without compensation law and had the same attitude as everybody else in the country.
Yeah.
Agri SA is going, we're fine.
Yeah.
This law, Agri SA.
Yeah, so
Pela,
they-
when you say Agri SA in terms of South Africa,
So
you
before
say
we get
white people.
there, right? I wanted to start the tradition, and I don't know if it's gonna work on the podcast. I think as individuals in the world today, we need to anticipate what AI is gonna do.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So I thought I'd start every podcast with AI jokes
Oh, that's dope.
to see if like we should be concerned
Oh.
as
that's
comedians.
oh, okay.
dope. Oh,
All
that's
right.
dope.
All right.
Yes.
And I just say, write AI jokes about, okay, these were supposed to be the white genocide jokes. All right. So here we go. Number one, I haven't read this before. Afriforum says this is AI jokes, right? From an analytical perspective. Afriforum says they're being persecuted in South Africa. Shame. Must be tough being oppressed while still owning all the farms.
Oh, that's
Guys,
dope.
we're suffering. Please pass. Guys, we're suffering. Please pass the avocado toast.
That's dope.
Okay.
I
Okay,
like
there we go. Number one. Okay, moving
I like
on.
that.
Right. They want refugee status in America. You know it's bad when even America is like, we don't usually take your kind. Okay, I don't get that one. I don't think that
Yeah.
works. Okay.
Also, they don't
anyways,
want refugee status in America.
they don't want.
No, they don't want.
Yeah, they don't want it. Yeah.
Don't want
Some of them do. Yeah. Okay.
Come on now.
Okay. White genocide? I've seen more endangered species at Woolworths. Have you tried buying
Where they
free
say
range
that from?
eggs?
Oh,
Those
okay.
things are rarer than a white guy without a bucky.
Okay. Nice.
Where does it get it from?
Oh, that's hot.
Huh?
That's nice. I like
I mean, it's quite close.
You can work
Interesting.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's workable.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So they say they're under attack. Meanwhile, their best threat is load shedding, ruining their sourdough starter.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, there's something there.
I like that.
Okay. And one more.
I like that because sourdough is now
The thing.
it's like we're making sourdough now. I like that.
They say they're being pushed out of South Africa. Bro, no one is pushing you out. We're just asking you to share. Okay, so that's not a joke, but that does hit.
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about, 5 years time, bro?
They're going to be better.
Yeah, it's going to be better, bro.
It's going to be better.
This
I
is
don't even think it's 5 years' time. I think it's closer.
How many months has ChatGPT
Dude.
been around, bro?
It's going to be better, and then it's going to have like access to... It's going to have access to all the research in the world.
Everything. You know what you
Yo,
have to do? You have to go for research.
Yo, I gotta go read, bruh. Like, and then miss a whole chunk of history, and then somebody corrects me from stage. Now I gotta go read some more.
Ish.
It's what it is. It's the world. Like, we'll see.
Okay, but I interrupted you when you were talking about Agri SA says it's no problem.
Yeah, I'm saying every reputable sort of, I don't want to call it organization in
Yeah.
South Africa is saying no, but something like that doesn't exist.
There's no issue.
Right? There was I saw an interview, I think better Enders had an interview on the news, and they were saying the opposite of Afriforum. Right? Afriforum is
Yes.
the biggest, yes, but you have got other organizations that are saying no, that's not a reality. The biggest thing for me is that honestly, I feel like people should have come out earlier and said there's no genocide in South Africa. But these things work for the politicians.
Yeah.
Right? These things work. It works to say, like, people are dying, there's a genocide, so that you can get votes.
But then there in America, they actually
They believe it, yeah.
Yeah, they believe it.
So that's the
Like-
problem, right? Is that sorry, Riaad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go,
the,
go.
the US, at least the current administration,
Yes.
it's not like they care about facts at all.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even in their own country.
Yeah.
So they will use whatever spurious type of fact.
Yeah.
That's not even a fact, actually,
Yes.
right?
It's
And
not
they'll
a
use it
fact.
for the- yeah, so
It's
that's
true
I think,
if it serves the cause.
yes.
Yes.
But I think Riaad is right. In America, when they say it within America, they just believe. It's like
Yes.
saying,
Yes.
Africans are dying of hunger. It's the same thing, right? They're in their own bubble and they
I
listen to
I
that.
agree with that. My whole thing is that I also think that they would have found something else.
Yes. That's,
You know
I
what
see.
I
that's
Yeah.
They would have found
there
something
are bigger
else.
politics at play here. The RCJ is bigger politics at play. BRICS is bigger politics at play. The idea that South Africa chose to align with Russia and China and go on military drills with Russia and China. When we used to go to military drills with America, matter of fact, we did.
Yeah.
But now we started going to military drills with Russia and China.
Yeah.
Right? So there's bigger politics at play. The bigger politics at play is that South Africa doesn't want Elon to open his company here
Yes.
without BEE rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's bigger politics at play
Exactly.
than Afriforum. I'm saying a simple researcher from America could read the law
Yeah.
and say, hi, man, that's not true. Diplomatic channels exist where the diplomat of South Africa and
Yes.
the diplomat of America could have a sit down and they go, no, actually, white people are like it. Do you understand? Like those things exist. A simple mid-level researcher can research those things and come up and say, no, man,
So
it's not that bad.
but then what is playing out on social media is completely nonsense. Just like essentially.
What is playing out on social media is people reacting.
Yeah.
You understand? But this is not what is happening. According to me, with my limited knowledge of politics, I'm just going, there are bigger things of play. I'm just going, for the past, 2 cycles of AGOA, we've been dealing with the fact that South Africa could be kicked out.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, the fact that South Africa could be punished is not a new idea. We came out knowing that we could lose it. Even during Trump's presidency, we were 5-2 losing AGOA. Even during Trump's presidency. It was that time where, like, they ended up giving us chicken that we didn't want. You remember
Yes,
that,
the
the
import.
whole chicken nonsense? Yeah, they ended up giving us chicken. And we're like, oh, the chicken is causing cancer, blah, blah, blah. So we've always been in the naughty books of the U. It was coming, guys.
Okay.
Right? Now what they found is they found a vehicle. For me, like, Afriforum was going there during Trump's term anyways.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, now they have found a vehicle. They have found a South African voice that people can trust in America, in Elon Musk, blah, blah, blah. It is how we react. The whole world is reacting differently. It is only America that's going crazy. The EU is saying, but we're cool.
Yeah.
But
We-
to your previous point, I think BRICS on its own is problematic for them. It's become a real
Problematic,
problem.
dog.
It's like I think that's the biggest problem for
It's
them.
problematic,
You know,
dog. Like it's problematic. If you've been borrowing money from FNB and then the next thing you switch from FNB to Capitec, you expect FNB to be cool.
happy.
That's craziness. You
So
know
I
what I
think-
mean? Like, yeah. That's like how I think about it.
Okay.
But
Now
can I
this
ask a
is
different
all I'm
one?
saying.
Oh.
This is good for me. Like, I'm getting a lot of therapy from this. You're saying, Moosa?
No, I mean, I have a question for you guys, right? The one thing that I'm concerned about, like in America, MAGA, all of those things started out small, started on social media, but they are not, it spills over into the real world.
Yes.
I do think when you have this type of discussion now, when you're saying, they're just racist,
Yes.
Yeah.
what I worry about actually that it spills over
Yeah.
into the real world, that actually people do become serious about racism again,
Yes.
It's not that long ago that we were ruled by a minority.
Yes.
That still controls the economy.
Yes.
Right.
And that's what I get a bit nervous about, right?
And
I'm
they were always there.
You should actually speak up whenever you can,
Yes.
to
Yes. You're right. You're
prevent that type of...
Yeah, you're right.
So I tell you how I spoke up. I spoke up against Roland Schoeman, the Olympic swimmer.
Okay.
Did you know this?
No.
If I can find this thing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
The one thing that I sometimes think is that in some ways I'm happy that the mask has slipped off. That you
Yes.
can see people for what they
Yes.
are. They're saying exactly now.
Yes.
Before it was all, Rainbow Nation, everything. But actually, I think I for one, I like that part. Oh, the mask is off. I see America for what it is.
Yes.
Because before this, it was land of the free, home of the brave, and we're doing good all around the world. But
Yeah, dude. We
Now you
used to
can't.
support them, bruh. Like, and it's
we were
because of
indoctrinated
by
by
Rambo.
Rambo.
Tom Cruise, bruh.
Yeah.
Dude, right?
Dude,
That was
like
all-
in the hood, we'd watch a movie at school. And in the middle of the movie, we'd just start chanting USA, USA, USA. We were backing America. But now you can't even watch a movie and start seeing through like propaganda.
It's not the
Yeah,
same,
yeah,
bro.
Like
It
now
ain't
you
the
can't
same,
like
bro.
you enjoy the movie for a little bit, and then when the hero starts or when the bad guy is Iranian, even like you're like I like Iran now.
This is it. This is it. Okay, so he wrote, hey Joe Rogan, would you entertain the idea of hosting a few South Africans on your podcast to speak of the atrocities in South Africa that are affecting all citizens? So he says all citizens in caps lock, right? And then he says Elon Musk and POTUS have been highlighting them. He hasn't been highlighting the atrocities against all citizens.
Why do you call load shedding an atrocity? It's just electricity.
Right? So this is what and after watching all this, I just responded, why do you want to cause kak here, bruh? You are an Olympian.
Yeah.
You're really being very selfish about the plight of your own people when most other people in South Africa have way worse.
Yes.
You clearly don't care about all South Africans. In fact, if you saw all South Africans as your own people, that would be a step in the right direction. Try to effectively help some black and brown people instead. You'll see you feel better. Otherwise, go polish your medals and go do some laps.
Hey, you were
Please,
angry, bruh.
I don't know why I said that. Please stop lying to America. And if you don't think you're lying, then the only other conclusion is that your conception of South Africa and the pain of black and brown people is invisible. And that we are all in your mind just an amorphous threat to the true owners of this nation.
What time did you post that?
What time did I post it?
I'm picturing you in a bed, like typing.
Yes.
Yeah, also like
And then I got
like, trying
attacked.
to not type it and go, screw this.
What was the response to that?
I think he started attacking me, right? Or just responding and the kiffness. And we started realizing that he's using ChatGPT to respond to my tweets.
Oh,
Okay.
I saw that.
Roland Schoeman.
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly what I said, but it's something along the lines of, in the exchange, I said, I don't think you doped when you swam, but on this platform, you're definitely using performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, and then what?
Right? They were like, but then all the bots come out and
Yes.
all the racists come out.
Yeah.
First of all, Kaya said that when you see the two dashes next to each other,
Yes.
that's usually a marker that's a AI tweet. Not
yes.
just one dash, there's two dashes next to each other.
Yes.
And they also screen grabbed the thing where Roland Schoeman had said, you included in the post, here's an answer in your tone.
Oh, no, embarrassing. It's like when you don't delete that in an email, or the bottom where it says, how does this sound? How does this sound? Imagine you have this,
bro, right, bro.
Okay, but Shame, he's a swimmer.
He wanted to be Minister of Sports, dog.
Yeah, dude, he did. Because the theme of what they talk about is always greatness and superiority. That's what they're saying. So I will say, greatness, superiority. You guys just want to be worshipped. We just need to realize that white people are the best and all our problems will be solved. Sorry, man, forgive us. It's our low IQs. It's just a difficult concept to figure out. We'll figure it out eventually. Right? Give us time. Right? Then they say, poor, fragile, weak Riaad, blah, 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 blah. And then he responds to me, Riaad, your obsession with white superiority says more about your own insecurities than anything else. No one ever mentioned race. You did. No one claimed to be worship. You fabricated that. Your entire argument is a desperate, bitter projection of your own inferiority complex. You're not fighting oppression. You're addicted to self-victimization. Okay? As for my achievements, they stand on their own. Documented history, not in Twitter threads fueled by resentment. The difference between us, I earned my place at the top. You, on the other hand, need race baiting and cheap sarcasm just to stay relevant. Stay mad. Okay? Right, so he said that to me. And then I said...
He's right, Riaad. It's not like...
But then I responded...
It's not like you're not one of the biggest comics in this country.
Right? Then I said, dude, I don't have an inferiority complex. I have an equality complex.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
I have a belief system that's different to you. It's based on the game of fair rules, not the game of self-worship. This is actually a very funny situation. Getting into an X-fight with an Olympic swimmer who has no insight into his own racism and sometimes uses ChatGPT to respond to me. It's very funny. It's a funny premise. And then this is where I said, I don't think you ever doped in swimming, but on X, you definitely use performance-enhancing drugs. Like when I speak of privilege, when we speak of privilege, we speak of something implicit and systemic. It's not always explicitly stated. The explicit laws ended with apartheid and colonialism, but what is implicit remains. The shit of apartheid and colonialism was removed, but the smell still remains. I'm not mad. I don't feel inferior. I'm gathering material and I'm trying to understand your mindset. I'm actually listening and reading and trying to understand, but it's clear that you are not trying to understand people like me. And I'm definitely going to use this experience in a new show. It's a funny situation. So
it's like he said, he's a swimmer, dog. I just realized my own bias.
I shouldn't have said that.
No, but my own bias is, had it been Drigas, we would have gone. We would have dismissed.
Yeah, let him speak.
We were like, but because swimming is like elegant. It feels like people read books and then they go swim.
Yeah.
Can't they do the same kind? He swims, dog. He swims, dog. It was a lot. That's why I didn't park.
Nah, dude. This
it was a lot. I didn't park there. I was like, this thing.
This is
just,
too much.
Just sign the laws. Keep going. Don't. The racists go mad. Just keep signing the laws. You keep moving, dog. Like that's my thing. Is that they're going to go crazy anyway because they're not interested in equality. They are not interested in fairness. They're literally interested in staying at the top. And this thing of like if you check my comments on Twitter, when they start doing those things, I go, thank you for engaging in the algorithm and helping the message spread. Have a nice day. Because I go, this person is not. And then there'll be other people where I feel like, this person wants to have a debate. I like debates. Let's debate. You know what I mean? And then that's what it is.
But this is a question to both of you because you are public figures, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you argue like that, like, don't you think this is like a waste of my time and I'm just, like you're saying, bots reply and the racists come out and actually you just feel like
my vibe is they don't waste my time. Half the time I'm free.
You got time
I'm free. I've got time.
You got time for this fight.
There are times even where I start responding by saying, "Today I've got time. Yo, today I've got all day. Let's dance, and don't go away. Don't now at some point stop responding because like I know what I'm talking about. Let's dance." Yeah, like I don't think it's a waste of time at all. And it is work, right? Because when I leave this conversation, I've got jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is also why I'm engaging with it a little bit, because it just sort of stimulating certain ideas,
Yes.
and you also get insight into how they are thinking.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, because if you're gonna write jokes about racists, you need to talk to racists.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to talk to racists if they are not in their racist bag.
Right.
Right? Like if you're gonna do like sex jokes, it's easy to call anyone and say, "Yo, let me ask you this about sex." They will answer. But racists, racists are not going to give you the truth like that unless they are in their bag on social media. So it's really not a waste of time. Like you wanna write these jokes, maybe we are just as bad as Elon because now we're using racists for work.
Okay, but can I ask you, you two as comedians,
Yeah.
can I ask you this question? Because
Yeah.
do you actually, I'm going to say interview people, like you're saying about sex jokes? I'm quite curious about that. Like,
I
do you-
ask.
So
I
you ask,
people.
you survey people and say, hey, what is funny about
I
that?
ask
And
people. I ask my friends.
ah,
Yeah, like I ask them, what do you think of this? What? This is what I'm thinking. I don't ask comedians. I ask.
Never. Yeah. He tells me.
I never ask.
Never talks to comedians.
why?
Because we're gagging.
Yeah, because comedians are looking for jokes.
Yeah.
I can do jokes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
He can do jokes. He's not looking for jokes.
I'm not looking for jokes.
He's looking for truth.
Yes,
He's
yes,
looking
yes,
for
yes.
ingredients for jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jokes are the easy part. It's
Yeah.
not the conversation is.
You're looking for the insight.
Yes.
And then from
if
the
you've got
inside
the
you-
insight, then you can joke. You can joke
The
about
details, bro.
anything. Yes.
The details, bro. That's where the magic is, bro.
Yes.
I mean, to me,
And
it's
with
fascinating.
KG, interestingly enough, he more than most comedians finds jokes in the details.
Yes.
Like if you just what makes his material different from a lot of the guys here in South Africa is that. And then it's like I'm the only person who notices that thing. Because I think I'm more analytical about
Yes, I
jokes
think you
than,
study,
than
you study
most people.
different
Yes,
people and
yes.
their styles and their jokes.
Yeah.
But you're
And I
not like
go,
that. You
No, it's a natural way. I think it's also born from your dad's a writer, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
is it?
Right, yes. Yeah. I just. Yeah. I like.
He doesn't like the compliments.
I
Nice speech.
Yeah. It's for me. Jokes are more fun when you know the one. I have fun when I know the actual story.
Yes.
I think you can joke about anything. I think yes, no, I don't know, I don't care. There's jokes inside of all these.
yeah.
Yes, there's an equal amount of jokes inside of yes, no, I don't know, I don't care.
Now, where do you get that from? I
Yeah,
never
what's the
heard
frame?
that from
It's a
you.
framework that I haven't heard.
I've just thought about it now.
Okay. Yeah.
So explain it a
Yeah.
bit. Or is this your secret? You don't.
No, there's no secret. I've literally just thought about it now. Uti, like, if you are for a certain situation,
Ah.
there's jokes inside of that. If you are not if you're not for that,
There's jokes inside that.
If you don't know how you feel,
Yeah.
there's jokes inside of that.
If
And
you
if
do
you
know.
don't even care, there's jokes inside of that.
Okay, can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
So when you get that insight, do you know immediately that's a good one and it's going to work? Or is it always like trying it out and seeing if there's a response? You know, like an experiment. Or do you know, this was a great insight and, and it's probably,
I know that's
you know.
That's funny.
He knows it's funny. He doesn't. You just don't know if the audience is clever enough
if I start asking questions about it, then I know it's funny. But also, I don't roll in that space of the audience is clever enough. I assume that they're always clever enough.
But then you can't, whether you're going to communicate the funny to them adequately. That's
Yes.
whether you're going to communicate what's in your brain accurately to them with the tools at your disposal.
Yes. Yeah. The biggest thing is, can I break it down to them?
Yes.
It's not whether the magic is, for me, making them think that you are actually smarter than them, or you are really, really smart.
But they know it already.
That's the magic.
Yeah.
But I've always thought of a comedy audience as people who pay to go see jokes. These are smart people.
Yeah.
They credit the comedian with the smarts, but these are smart people.
Yeah.
Because they're open to.
Yeah, you're gonna go see and listen to people's opinions. That's smart people things. Comedy is for comedy belongs in the smart, educated sort of like even bourgeoisie space, right? It's always been like more revolution people, what. So it's always been that. I go, okay, it means the people that are coming there, these are people with, you know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm laughing.
They might not know the details, but because not many people know the details, but it's dope to carry them through. And then I find with details, when I go detailed, is literally for the 5% of the members in the audience who actually know the details. Because then they like, you just speaking to their soul, right?
Yeah.
Like if I come through and I drop if I come through like you're a doctor, there's a disease that you're probably amazing at. But people don't know about it. Like they're not that well versed, they know. But if a comedian comes in and they hit the details, you might be the only one in the room, but to you, this man is now talking your language.
Yeah.
Do you know the movie Finding Nemo?
Yes.
I watched it with my brother. He's a dentist.
Yeah.
But there's this part where the pelican asks about which tools, and they name the tools. And my brother was literally like rolling and crying with laughter.
Yeah.
Because he's a dentist, right? So he's almost like, because they did the research, but he was like so specific, but this guy was like rolling and crying with laughter. It was great.
The rest of us are like, but that person, man,
The detail,
yeah. But then like if you're doing like an hour set, then you can hit like details, different details to different people. Like,
Yeah.
And then it's like these intimate moments that you're having with random people.
Yes.
And everybody else doesn't know. That's the juice.
That's
and it's
poetic.
all pain, like or a lot of like difficulty that you generally play with, and then comedy will sort of alchemize that and provide some sort of relief, of that. So so I like your perspective, KG, when you saying, they are talking about these things because it's their last stand.
Yes.
I don't know if it's their last stand, but it's a stand. They're feeling under threat. Or the ideology is under threat. But then Moosa, and I both feel the fact that it's going to the highest levels is anxiety provoking. And then I'm paying attention in the sense that I'm noting propaganda techniques.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's very detailed propaganda techniques.
Yes.
Like this thing they're coming up with is the 140 race-based laws in South Africa that's persecuting white people.
Yes.
So they didn't say affirmative action, or they didn't say DI, or economic empowerment, they used 140 race-based laws.
Yes.
And that's a propaganda tool.
Yeah.
Because it makes you think that. The vagueness,
Yeah.
right, allows them to communicate that, what was done during apartheid
Yes.
to black people, to people
Yes.
of color, is
Yes.
now being done to white people
Yes.
because of the vagueness of the term.
Yes.
Right? Race-based laws, because in truth, these aren't race, but these are corrections or treatments to the race laws. That's what they're there for.
Yep.
They're there because people are playing Monopoly by themselves forever. They got all the land, all the properties, all the everything, and now we're gonna start playing the game.
Yeah.
And you got no money, they got all money, and we're going, okay, let's figure out how we can make this game fair, right? They corrections to the law.
Yeah.
You know, but saying race-based law. And it's an interesting thing I'm going to talk about. Okay, now how do I apply that to something else? It's like if you go from a doctor perspective, you don't say tuberculosis or HIV medication, right? Right? You don't say HIV treatment. You go an HIV-based substance.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, the HIV treatment, the treatment for the HIV sounds threatening.
Yes.
There's 140 HIV-based substances out there.
Yes.
You know, and then all of a sudden they can use that in arguments.
Yes.
Like this guy, I think it was Ernst van Zyl, said, can we agree in principle that any race-based law is immoral and bad, right?
Yeah.
So then you stuck in a quandary almost. But the thing is not a race law. It's a response or a correction to the thing. So that's what makes me scared, is because these guys are coming up with these things and they're talking to these high-level people, and people going, like it's a funny situation. We look past of the seas of poverty,
dude,
in South Africa and go, we need to save
They could have found weapons of mass destruction. Can I just paint it to you? Yeah, okay, fine. But they could have gone with the propaganda of weapons of mass destruction.
Yes.
Didn't they say that didn't they say last week that South Africa is busy declaring, building nuclear weapons with Iran or some shit like that?
They can say anything.
Didn't they say that we are now teaming up with Iran and Russia to what nuclear? I'm saying all these things, we have to keep on moving.
Yeah.
South Africa has to keep on moving. If they can say whatever propaganda they want, and sometimes you think that only thingy like stupid people are racist. No, like these things get funded.
Yeah.
Yes.
By somebody with an outcome.
Yeah.
Now all these things that we have raised. You've raised Blix as a problem. You've raised ICJ as a problem. You've raised whatever, Russia, whatever, what. All these things are problems that cost a lot of money. At some point, you have to have a team that sits there that has a marketing person, a social media person, a risk and compliance person, blah, blah, blah. And you go, how do we win this battle against South Africa? How do we neutralize these people, blah, blah, blah. Oh, let's come up with this race thing. Let's come up with this race propaganda. Let's do blah, blah, blah. Do you understand? What we have to do is that we have to keep on moving.
Yeah.
We have to do what we need to do to get the country right.
Now, what are your thoughts about actually using those same tools against them? Or do we just do what we do, which is essentially try and get the truth out?
I don't know if we have that level of propaganda machine.
Yeah.
But that's the starting
because the
point.
truth is the most powerful. It eventually emerges once
I don't
everything
think
settles.
that Africans own that level of propaganda machine that they can use against the rest of the world or whatever.
But
I
if
don't
they
think
did,
we have
would
got
we-
means of
should we?
communication. I don't think that we've got means of communication to even communicate by ourselves.
If we did, Should we? Because we had this conversation about your views on the militarization of Africa.
Yes.
Right? And your view was that, we need an army, we need a strong army.
Yeah, we need a strong army. I stand by that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's still the tool. It's a tool.
Yeah.
That can
Africa
be used.
needs a strong army. If they said we're having a SADC army tomorrow, I would be for it.
Is that why you're training?
No, I'm training so that I can be sexy. I want to be sexy enough to bring up a happy home. I don't wanna bring up a happy home. I just want...
Just to understand.
I just want the happy home to look at me and say, That's just jokes. No, I want to be healthy, dog.
Yeah.
But I am all for a country with a strong army. I think a strong army is
So in a world where we have a strong army, do we also use propaganda tools to lie, to serve our own?
No. I mean, I think
No.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
the weapon is misinformation, and you want to use your
Yes.
own misinformation and tricks
yes.
for your own, for let's call it a good reason. No, I still think it's
What I want is peace,
Yeah.
right? What I want is peace. What I want is for us to
Okay,
live
but here's the thing: peace,
independently without being messed with.
peace or this is the thing.
Peace and justice.
Now, what you call you got it's a Kwame Ture
hey, you're going.
quote. He goes
You're
right.
going
He
there
says
now.
peace. That's a white man's word, right? We want liberation, right?
Yes.
Because during slavery, you can have peace,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, but you get what I'm trying to say. I want equal rights. I want fairness. I want
Fairness, eh?
people to be treated justly, and I want the South Africa the Africa that we all dream of. But the Africa that we all dream of doesn't exist if we don't have a strong army, unfortunately. And it's not because of anything. It's because everybody else is also violent towards us.
Yeah.
It's because we are not able to stand as a group and say this is not happening.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in a world like that, we need to have an army. We can be easily threatened and bullied.
Right.
We can be.
Yeah.
Right? That's what colonization is. That is what happens when we can be bullied. People can come in and make governments dysfunctional and blah, blah, blah. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
If World War III breaks out, we had better. We can't even have a voice at the table because we can't fight. Do you know what I mean? We can't fight. You can't even say we need the ability to veto in the UN. Who are you going to veto if you can't fight them? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Everybody that vetoes can fight.
Yeah.
China can fight. They're ready. We
This is the only country I'm not hearing anything about.
You understand?
China. It's just like Russia.
But they can dance, bro.
Yeah, dude.
China can dance. They just put out like a what? Is it 5th generation or 6th generation? 6th generation fighter aircraft. What? They can dance. We can't go to war with Yemen. Yemen will fuck us up quick. You saw what Yemen got.
And dance on top of us.
Yemen will fuck us up quick. And this is not me disrespecting our army. This is me saying what Yemen has shown in terms of what they have. Our ships, they reported that we've got one ship. Do you know how long our coastline is, Doc?
Do you think it's our nature that we're just a bit more relaxed?
Yeah, even like in
because
1652.
we're so isolated.
In 1652,
South
how
Africa
many
is like
ships
down
are
at the
there?
bottom of the. I honestly think
Yeah,
sometimes I'm
but
like, are we
we-
relaxed?
We also exist in that world when we buy weapons. People complain, you can't be buying weapons. Who do you think is going to attack us? As if we don't have minerals. That's crazy. As if we're not in an important country where other ships have to go past, blah, blah, blah. It's an important location.
Yes.
It cannot be. Hey, there was a army general that said, "Guti, we are a Mickey Mouse army." He said that like a week ago.
Our army, our own.
Our army. He said we are Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. You can Google
those
that,
ears on. Even while he said that. Not a helmet.
Dude, Rwanda is the size of friggin'. I mean, you can walk Rwanda. You can walk there.
Yeah.
Rwanda is not supposed to threaten us and tell us that we can dance if you want to dance. It's not supposed to happen. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I'm not advocating for war between South Africa and Rwanda. Rwandans, Africans shouldn't even be threatening each other. I'm just making the point of a military that doesn't even threaten rebels. Dog. Come on. Do you understand what they said, guy? A week after what did we have? That Simonstown Navy Festival.
The show.
Yes.
A week after Navy Festival, where people went and checked out Navy, China brought a ship, Russia brought the ship. A week after that, news came out and they said South Africa doesn't even have, we only have one ship. Our coastline is from Namibia, dog, to Mozambique. If the news are true that we have one ship, guys, it can't be. It can't be.
They came, even Afriforum should have more ships. They came with what? Dromedaris, what?
You understand?
What are the ships they came with?
Afriforum went into ships, they might have more ships than the whole country. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's not the personnel that I have a problem with in terms of in terms of it's the leadership that I have a problem with leadership though. But it cannot be that stories like this. There was a story that said the Air Force. I think it's the DA that came up with that thing. The Air Force is kaput. There's nothing there. I don't know what we have. I'm not an army man. I'm saying based on the news that we have seen. The Air Force is not doing great. The Navy is not doing great. We're left with the army now. We don't know how the army is doing really. It can't be. A continent like this one with everything that it has cannot be this weak. It cannot be. It cannot be, dog. Pakistan has got nuclear weapons. Pakistan is ready to dance. India is not attacking Pakistan because Pakistan can dance, dog.
I think maybe why do you think that is? Do you think it's because of the story, the new story of our nation is that of morality? Of sort of living as one, diverse nation. So the story that we embarked upon with our new nation was that.
That, and also maybe it's too soon for things to work perfectly. Maybe that, and maybe the idea that everything in South Africa was meant to serve 10% of the population. And now you've got everybody else coming into those things and you expect those things not to break. That's crazy.
Right. So
you could have warned that Eskom would break down, but the truth is Eskom came in to support 90% of the some of us grew up with no electricity. Some of us remember the day that we had electricity for the first time.
Yeah. And they don't know about that. So you will hear that so we gave you a functional country. And
the
look
country
what
wasn't dead and not functional. 10% of the country was functional. So the fact that it was
functional for them.
It has to be worse.
For them.
It has to be worse. There's no way the New South Africa can be better for white people than apartheid.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, Uguti, you can't take 90% of the people and put them in a thing that served 10%, and that 10% of the thing works beautifully. I'm saying also that I do not think, I do not think there is a political party in this country that would have put us where the ANC has put us in 30 years.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Democratic Party, come the DA, would have done as well as the ANC has done.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
No, the
think-
perspective, because their perspective is basically that of maintaining the status quo.
Yeah.
That idea that things worked well.
Things worked well, and then you destroyed them. I go, but those things, they worked well because they were used by 10% of the people.
Right.
And now you add 90% of the people,
Yeah.
you know. And when you start thinking about South Africa that way, you actually end up going, the ANC actually,
Did okay.
these roads. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, some of them are full of potholes, but this is what happens when all of a sudden the other 90% now
Of people
starts
can
using.
come in here.
You understand? Like
Okay,
remember,
wait,
like the 90%, and like 90% is a huge number. It's a huge freaking number. But in that 90%, the majority went to work, came back early. They didn't go to schools outside of their hood. So these roads are now actually getting used by everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one side of it, right? This is a question that I have for you, right? The other part of it is what I think of as IP, intellectual property.
Yes.
So just imagine ISCOM and you being run by, Buddha and white managers, right?
Yeah.
And they've got all the intellectual knowledge
Yeah.
of how to run everything, right? And now you have affirmative action and all of these things. And actually, a lot of these guys just became consultants. They erected in as consultants, right?
Yes.
This is a real question. Would you prefer for those guys to have stayed there and still have like the IP, or what is the affirmative action better? Like literally, like for the nation, for everything, right? But which one is? I heard your joke, which was hilarious when you said, "Do I choose ironing? Do I choose iron shirt or
Yes.
racism?"
Yes.
But it's a little bit of that, right?
Yes.
So there's part of that part where you're saying 90% of stuff is used. That is one. There's fewer resources for more people. But the other part is this knowledge.
Before we
part.
answer that question,
Okay.
I'm just going to read this because it's actually interesting, because I wanted to end it off like this, but then we can go here because this is actually a response also to this. So this is the last thing that I wrote, because I really got I got upset. And I was like, what's upsetting me is the basic fact that they don't seem to acknowledge that things didn't work for 90% before.
Yes.
And now they're going, it's
They
worse
only
for
have-
us.
yes.
Right? And you know that old quote, like when you are privileged, when you have excess, then equality feels like oppression.
Yes.
Right? So this is what I wrote this letter. Dear Apartheid nostalgics.
Yes.
Right. First of all, I'm very sorry you feel persecuted more than other races in the new South Africa in 2025. I am sorry, for real. And I know life is hectic. Even for us brown and black people, it's pretty bad. I'm sorry, but a few things need to be said. And I'm going to use sports analogies here. I hope the rugby one gets you. Look, everybody agrees with the concept of merit and working hard. Black people, brown people, white people, everybody. But everybody should have opportunity to access the game. Right? So I believe that affirmative action doesn't mean there's no merit. Affirmative action doesn't mean there's no working hard.
Yes.
For hundreds and hundreds of years, people of color were legally prevented from playing the game of self-determination. Legally oppressed and legally not allowed access. Apartheid wasn't like affirmative action. It wasn't like if there's a qualified white dude and a qualified black dude, the qualified white person will get the opportunity. It wasn't that. It was like the apartheid and colonial laws meant that no matter what, you can't get access. It's illegal. If you are black, you can't buy the land.
Yes.
You can't have a job. You can't get the education. You can't move up no matter how hard you work, no matter how smart you are. It's against the law. So versions of this happened all over the world. Right? A fun example is the NBA in America. There was a time, unbelievable as it may seem, where the NBA was whites only. Right? It's not that white people didn't compete hard against other white people for victory on merit, but black people weren't allowed to play. Even guys like LeBron James's grandfather wasn't allowed to play. He wasn't dunking a basketball, making buckets. He was dunking a mop into a bucket. Meanwhile, he could probably 360 degrees clean the backboard from the free throw line. Right? The idea of affirmative action is just to get people of color People have been historically disenfranchised into the game, right?
Yes.
Let them play. Now, once they're in the game, they still have to compete like everyone else. It's like anybody who's given the opportunity, quota players, you can only survive actually if you're good.
Yes.
They can only survive if they're competent.
Yeah.
And another way of looking at it, black people's legs have been legally amputated for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Real horrific, messed up laws that amputated their progress. Now, imagine Oscar Pistorius, right? Now, when he ran with these affirmative action prosthetics.
Yes.
He didn't guarantee he won. It just meant he could run the race. Now, imagine Oscar had to compete with no prosthetics.
Yeah.
Try to run the race on his stumps.
Yes.
Right? And then Oscar has to run a race with Usain Bolt.
Yes.
And on top of that, Usain Bolt's ancestors amputated his legs in the first place.
Yes.
It might make you insecure, right? Might make you want to shoot someone.
Oh, no.
Okay, that was offside, right? That was offside. But I was
Necessary.
yeah, I don't know if it was necessary. Was it?
Was necessary.
But with prosthetics, he can compete, and to stay in the race, he still needs to be able to run. And if Oscar wins the race, even with prosthetics, you can't say he's not winning on merit.
Yes.
If privileged people still don't agree with what I'm saying, because I'm trying my best to reason with these mofos, right? Let me use a language you may understand. Golf. The next time we play golf, don't play with a golf handicap, because a golf handicap could be golf affirmative action, right? Or 140 handicap-based golf laws. It's a way to get people into the game. Apartheid laws weren't white people playing golf and black people getting a golf handicap. Apartheid was a black person has to be a caddy. You are not allowed to play golf. You have to be a caddy, right? This is my final thing, right? Now, if you're still not with me, this is my final attempt. Right? Rugby.
I've tried.
Rugby, bruh. If I can't get you with the rugby, right? It's impossible, right? As a nation, if we figure out how to include all races into the game of self-determination, it'll be better for everyone. And we won the rugby this way.
Yes.
We actually became world champions this way many times, and every single time there was a new black or colored face introduced to the team. The assumption was that the black or colored face was not qualified.
Yeah.
This was a quota player. Yeah. By default, the perception is non-qualified until proven otherwise. And that assumption biases and racism still is there.
Yes.
Now, if there were no systems of redress, if there were no of these so-called 140 race-based laws or affirmative action, because of historical disadvantage, guys like Sia, Cheslin, Mapimpi, for example, would probably never have played for the country because they wouldn't get the opportunities to get them development, wouldn't get any coaching, wouldn't get access. Right? And I'm not saying that an all-white team would not win. There's nothing scarier than a white Afrikaner rugby player with no neck and cauliflower ears. Baksteen du Toit will bliksem you and be very effective. White people have the expertise, no doubt. Right? But it's much better, actually better that we won together. Even though white people had all the expertise, it's much better that the effort was put into diversity, inclusion, and equity in conjunction with work and merit-based systems. I mean, continuing with the status quo, could have still won us the Rugby World Cup with Afrikaner players only called Os and Blikkies many times over, right? But more importantly, the consequences of the 140 race-based laws won not only the World Cups, but also the heart of all South Africans. We won together. And it's possible, and it's inspiring, and it's nation building, and we can do it in all industries in South Africa. It'll just take time and effort, but the morality and ethics are sustainable. That's the point. It's long lasting. What Afriforum doing is completely the opposite. It's not just selfish. It's just selfish. That's what I say. And no matter how they try to disguise it, it's fundamentally racist to the core. And Africa.
Dope.
That's what
Where did you post it?
X, bruh.
Okay.
But I mean, is that, like you were saying, is it actually always practical? Is it too wishy-washy, or is that principle really gonna take us forward? You know, like sometimes you must have an army, bruh.
Well, I asked the question, but I think you're right. It's principle first, right? Like justice is first.
Yeah,
Like,
justice first.
You have to redress.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
There might be some
justice first.
inconvenience, but
Justice first.
like you were saying, you push forward.
Yeah.
I think that's our main thing actually, that we want to move forward, and this is a big distraction.
It is. It's
it's
like you're going back in time, bro.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, but like, so my attitude is that I don't want to let this do that with me. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
If the laws need to be changed to benefit all of South Africa, let them be changed.
Yeah.
Because the majority of South Africans are for them.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The majority of South Africa, even the racists are finding it so delicious in South Africa, they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave, dog.
Yeah.
The same
I'm
people-
giving you
Dog.
a refugee status.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. We didn't mean that. We mean come help us here.
We're going to come here, send us
Do
money
what you
through-
did with
Yeah.
Israel. We want
Yeah. So
our own homeland here, bro.
So we
Do that
keep it
first.
moving, bro. And then, you know, like you need an army for when they threaten you militarily,
Yes.
right?
Like our
that's-
team.
that's-
Like our rugby team.
Yeah.
We want a dope army.
We want a dope army when we get threatened militarily.
Right.
Yes. Right? Because not to be able to defend yourself is stupid.
Yeah.
That's crazy stupid. That's what you need it for.
it's like they say,
Yeah.
prepare for war during peacetime, right?
Yeah.
Like, you
So
want it ready.
nobody's advocating for war. Everybody's advocating peace, justice, fairness, equality, all those things.
Yeah. So
All
that's
those
why,
nice,
just to
lovely
end
things that
off,
we've always wanted.
that's why you're doing boxing.
No, man. It's my second week of boxing, and it's so nice.
Hey.
I can't punch to save my life.
But you get it out.
But it's so nice, bro. Like I told you, I want to do dope things. I'm enjoying how somebody burnt Table Mountain last week. Whoever you are, fuck you. Because we couldn't
You could.
couldn't go and walk there. They closed Newlands. We couldn't walk. Newlands is nice for fat people to walk there. Fuck you. If it was a religious ritual, I understand, but you should have made sure that things don't burn.
Imagine
Yeah,
the person who actually burnt the thing is actually watching the podcast.
Fuck you. I mean it. I mean it. Like, we couldn't go and, feel peaceful there. It's nice to walk there, bro.
Yeah, the dude is at another part of the mountain with the earpods in, listening to the podcast.
You know what I
with
mean?
the lighter going.
KG, I'm a fan,
I'm
bro.
sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. What happened
No,
again, bro?
dude, like it's I'm having fun. I might actually, I'm gonna do the marathon. I'm gonna do the marathon on the 11th of May.
Wow.
Because I'm having fun.
Yeah.
It's and it's expensive. I've just paid.
For a personal trainer, bro.
Yeah, not for shoes, dog. For running shoes, I paid through my mood. I paid my hat off. I couldn't believe it.
When is this marathon?
It's on the 11th of May.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna
couple of
go
months.
and I'm gonna complete it. For nothing else outside of like I am actually having fun. The fact that I'm not going the next tomorrow, today, and I didn't go yesterday is like borderline bothering me.
Okay, so go later.
No, I
Wait,
don't want
so
to
you
go
started
later.
Tomorrow.
running already?
I don't want to go later because I have to force myself to sit, even though I want to go.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I messed up my back on Monday because I
Yeah,
do
you
too
don't want
much.
that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
so
need to recover.
yeah, they're like, but you do too much. So I have to force myself to just chill, even though I want to go.
So then on the weekends you relax.
This is going to be the first weekend I am relaxing since 6th of January.
But if you do 5 days a week, training,
I
both
do
walking,
6.
No, but I mean,
and then I'll tell you what I've
when's
done.
your recovery
I'll
day?
tell you what I've been doing. I know all these things of recovery day, dog, but fat people don't deserve recovery days.
You said something very deep, bro, that hit everybody about losing weight. This is like such a thing. Why can't you choose where you lose the weight?
Yeah.
That was so deep, bro.
That like messed me up. Like the fact that you can't choose where to lose the weight is silly.
Yeah.
It's just the silliest thing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean I can't choose? The body will just lose wherever it wants.
Wherever
That's
it
crazy.
wants to.
That is I'm sure there's a reason why it does this. I haven't sat and researched why it does that.
Yeah.
There must be a reason. There's always a reason why a body does what it does.
Yeah.
That's what we found.
Yes.
We found that it will do something because of an actual
reason.
reason. So there must be a reason why a body just choose for you where you must lose fat first.
Okay. We'll research that for next time.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys. That was lekker.
It was delicious.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So anything that we must look out for, KG? Your show is going, you're doing your show in Grahamstown?
I am going to do Grahamstown this year. Yay. So Funny Festival and then Grahamstown.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do Kaka and Ka. Afrikaans people. My show is politics and race. You were there last year. We had a good time. This year we're going to go deeper. This year, now that you've been offered asylum, I'm going to encourage some of you guys to leave. Also, Solidarity had a session thing last. Solidarity come to my show.
Yeah, like do a full-on buyout, bro. Afriforum night.
Just buy tickets to a black man's show before you leave.
Please.